Everything I've loved in this world, and even the curse that fell on me too.
Hello everybody, Infinite Shinjo here. Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I am going to be comparing and contrasting Hunter x Hunter with Yu Yu Hakusho. I did a semi-frequent playlist about different anime, different concepts that are similar before, but I haven't done that in quite a while, so I thought this would be a good time to bring it back. I don't know if it's going to be under the same playlist as before. I'll most likely just make a new playlist for it. But yeah, in this series, I am going to be comparing and contrasting two different anime that have stuff in common and stuff different. And today, I am going to be, as I've already figured out, comparing and contrasting Yu Yu Hakusho with Hunter x Hunter. So, Yu Yu Hakusho is about Yusuke Urameshi, who dies and becomes a spirit detective and meets some friends along the way and fights different demons with them. And Hunter x Hunter is about Gon Freaks, who decides to become a hunter to look for his dad, and like Yusuke, meets some friends along the way and fights against different enemies. Already from those two descriptions, you can already tell where the comparisons start. But before I get into the specifics about the plot, the biggest comparison that I can see between the two that a lot more veteran anime fans might have already picked up on, that Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter are both created by the same person. Both manga series were created by the Yoshihiro Togashi, and you can already see that just based off of the stories already, because they're so similar. And even the personalities with the characters, I can already see comparisons myself. For example, both groups have 4 main people in them, and you can already see comparisons there. For example, Gon and Yusuke both typically wear the color green, so that comparison's already there. And as well, they both transform at some point into the show. Yusuke transforms because of the Mazaku blood, and Gon channels his Nen at the end of the Chimera Ant arc to defeat Pito. So they both have big mega transformations, so you can already see comparisons there. Another easy comparison to be made is Killua to Hiei. Both Killua and Hiei are easily the most ruthless from each group respectively, and they more or less come from a family of assassins. Killua more than Hiei, but Hiei is definitely more hardcore than the rest of the Yu Yu Hakusho group. And as well, both of them do have family issues in one way or another. The only other problem that I see is it's a little bit harder to make comparisons between the other two in the group. I guess by default, Kuwabara and Leorio are the same person, because they're easily the two goofier ones from each of the group. And by default, that means that Kurama and Kurapika are the two sides of the coin, which not exactly sure about a comparison to be made with that, but I can kind of see it if you really twisted my arm. But all that's not really a big surprise, considering both works are made by the same person. So whether Hunter x Hunter came out first or Yu Yu Hakusho came first, it's easy to assume that the character dynamics from one group came into the other group. Another comparison that can be made is Yusuke and Gon's tie to the world that they live in. For example, Gon decides to become a hunter to look for his dad, and Yusuke more or less gets forced into becoming a spirit detective, finding out later that he has a relative that is a demon. So the comparisons there are kind of loose at best, but I can definitely see them. Another easy one is they're both fighting demons in one point or another. Yusuke and his group essentially always fight demons. But Hunter x Hunter, they have a lot more enemies that are variety. They fight the Phantom Troop, which are mostly humans, but then the Chimera Ants, which you can easily see a comparison to demons there. And I'm sure there are other comparisons that you could find between the two shows, but those are the ones that I realistically came up with that are easy to figure out. But what is exactly different about these two shows and these two groups as a whole? The first obvious one is the ages of the characters are different. You can easily see that the Yu Yu Hakusho group is older than the Hunter x Hunter group, with the exception of Leorio. I think Leorio could probably be as old as the people in the Yu Yu Hakusho group. But outside of that, I couldn't really find any solid differences between the shows outside of what I've already mentioned. Another thing to be brought up is Hunter x Hunter is currently going as a manga series, and I'm not sure about where Yu Yu Hakusho is at this point. I don't know if it just stopped after a while. I know the series stopped, but Hunter x Hunter is definitely still going. A thing that's unfortunate is Yu Yu Hakusho was around in 1999, and Hunter x Hunter had a 1999 version, but Hunter x Hunter got the special treatment to have a re-adaptation in 2011, where Yu Yu Hakusho unfortunately didn't get the same treatment, which is kind of upsetting because I would love to see a Yu Yu Hakusho in the modern day. But with all that being said, it's time to that point in the video where I choose which one I prefer. And honestly, this is a hard one because I love both of these series. But if I'd have to pick one, it would probably be Yu Yu Hakusho. I just like the characters more, the setting more. It's a lot more concise. Where with Hunter x Hunter, there are some points in the show that the narrator just feels the need to butt in every single time, especially in the Chimera Ant arc, which a lot of people claim is the best arc in all of anime, but I'm kind of mid on it. I like the action, but I'm not a fan of how the narrator just has to over-explain everything. And being that the Chimera Ant arc is easily half of the show's runtime as a whole, doesn't really look good on the show. Of course, all this might be recency bias since I finished Yu Yu Hakusho a lot more recently than I finished Hunter x Hunter, but even a month's time, a year's time, I feel like I'd still say that Yu Yu Hakusho is my favorite among the two. But that is my video comparing Yu Yu Hakusho with Hunter x Hunter. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Are there any other comparisons or differences that you could find yourself that I didn't bring up? Let me know which one's your favorite among the two. If you enjoyed, like button down below. Let me know other comparisons or differences that you could think of for other anime that I can discuss in other videos. But until then, I'll see you next time. Momentai.